There are a lot of similarities in the way that the US and Germany celebrate Christmas, but when it comes to decorating, there are simply some things in Germany you will not find in the US.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. I am Donnie.
And I'm Aubrey.
And we are two Americans currently living in Germany and sharing all of our experiences living and traveling throughout Europe. It is finally our favorite time of the year, Christmas time. And Christmas time in Germany is one of our favorite things about living in Germany. Even though our two countries celebrate Christmas though, there are of course very interesting differences in the ways in which we celebrate the same holiday. One way in which we celebrate differently is in the way that we decorate. There are things that we have noticed Germany has adopted from the US and things that the US has adopted from Germany in terms of how we decorate for Christmas. But after living in Germany and celebrating 3 different Christmas seasons in Germany, we have noticed a lot of decorations in German homes that we have never seen or heard of in the US that we have started to incorporate into the way that we decorate for Christmas. And we are excited to share those with you today in our video. Ho ho ho, where do these decorations go?
We are originally from a southern state in the US called Oklahoma, and we now live in southwest Germany in the German state of Rhineland-Pfalz. Some of the decorations may be more specific to these two areas, and this is just our personal experience of what we've seen. So be sure to let us know in the comments how you decorate for Christmas and where you are from. We would love to have a collection of traditions explained from around the world in the comments below.
The Christmas season kicks off in Germany and in America in different ways and at different times. For us and many Americans, the Christmas season officially kicks off immediately after Thanksgiving, which falls on the 4th Thursday of November. We even mark this moment as families watch the famous Thanksgiving Day parade in New York City on TV, and it always ends with Santa Claus riding in on his sleigh, ushering in the Christmas season. For most Americans, this usually marks the moment that you can finally take down those fall decorations and throw up the Christmas tree and lights. In Germany, we see a lot of people kicking off the Christmas season on the first Sunday of Advent, and in German homes, one way that we see the Advent or Christmas season officially getting kicked off that we have never had growing up in the US is with lighting a candle on an Adventskranz. The Advent season begins on the first Sunday between November 27th and December 3rd, and is the period of time leading up to Christmas in anticipation of Christ's birth. Advent itself isn't really a new concept for us, and growing up in Protestant churches meant December was full of Advent themed sermons, and a lot of churches even have 4 candles up front to light, one on each Sunday of Advent.
The difference for us though is how much bigger the Advent season seems in Germany, and how in nearly every German home we go to, they will have an Advent's wreath. For us, Christmas Day on the 25th is the big day of the season, but there are things leading up to it in terms of Christmas movies, Christmas lights, baking Christmas cookies, etc. But we never had an Advent's wreath. In Germany, they seem to be a very important staple to every Christmas season celebration, and we find them being sold everywhere leading up to December. Advent wreaths look like normal wreaths that we would hang on a door, but they instead lay flat on a table and have 4 large candles around them. You can get these decorated in different themes, or a lot of people will buy all the decorations and wreaths separately and then create their own. The candles represent the 4 weeks of Advent, and sometimes there will be a 5th white candle in the middle. Each Sunday of Advent, 1 candle will be lit, and then if there is a 5th white one in the middle, it will be lit on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. We've read that this is traditionally a Lutheran tradition, which makes sense that it is so big in Germany, with Germany being Martin Luther's home country. We think we have seen these in some homes in the US, but we've never had one in our family's Christmas decorations, and they don't seem to be nearly as common in the US as in Germany. This year, we bought our first Advent wreath and lit it on the first Sunday of Advent for the first time.
First Advent Advent wreath lighting. What the? And Advent has begun. And then the question becomes, what happens next?
How long do you leave it lit? Until Christmas. So yes, this is a new tradition for us that we really enjoy. Besides it being a beautiful centerpiece on our table, it also is a nice and peaceful moment to light the candle in remembrance of what this season is really about. But we would like to ask our viewers who have had this as a tradition for a long time, would you buy yours pre-made or do you decorate your own? And what do you do when you light it? Do you have some sort of a ceremony or just light it and then blow it out?
We have also learned in Germany that the Advent wreath isn't the only way to mark the Advent season, but also Advent calendars are a much anticipated part of the Advent season. Starting around September or October, we already started seeing huge box Advent calendars springing up in our grocery stores. They have all kinds of them, like chocolate, candy, beer, small gifts, toiletries, etc. And starting on December 1st, you open a little door or window and pull out what the surprise is for that day. You do this all the way up to the 24th of December. Normally on the 6th and the 24th, there will be an extra special or large gift or candy because the 6th is the day that St. Nicholas visits German boys and girls, and the 24th is the gift-giving evening, unlike the morning of the 25th in the US.
I really can't remember if we had ever heard of an Advent calendar like this before moving to Germany, but we definitely had never had one, and I personally never knew anybody who did have one. However, what is common is for families to have some sort of a countdown calendar for children that doesn't come with treats, sadly. For example, my family has a Santa decoration with pockets with numbers on his beard, kind of like an Advent calendar, but then you move a little Christmas tree every day to the next pocket as you count down to the big day. Once we heard how popular German Advent calendars are and saw the rows and rows and rows of them in stores, we wanted to incorporate it into our German Christmas celebrations and get our first one this year. We got our very first Advent calendars, and we're about to open it up and see what's inside. Chocolate, but let's see what kind of chocolate. One. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, it's so cute. I think that's the perfect size because I was kind of worried about eating this much chocolate this month, but that's perfect.
Oh, it's like a little tiny nugget. Is this made for children? Because my fingers are too big. Come on. I want my chocolate. What the heck? How did you get yours out? Really?
I have tiny fingers.
Oh, there we go. And also, since this is our first year doing it, we actually forgot that yesterday was supposed to be the first day of Advent. So we also need to get number 2, because tonight is the second night. So double the chocolate. Oh, it's just another little tiny, no! Gosh dang it. Got it. There, 2 tiny little chocolate balls.
There are such a wide variety of Advent calendars, and we went with Lindt chocolate this year. But what kind of Advent calendar do you like to get, or what did you grow up getting? In Germany, we see a lot of handcrafted wood decorations, and they seem to be the classic way of decorating a German home. One of these decorations is one that we have actually already talked about in another video recently, and that is our Räuchermann. These are little wooden carved figurines that originated from the Ore mountain region in Germany. They are normally a little cartoonish looking and come in a wide range of characters or occupations. Some of these classic designs are miners or chimney sweeps, as they are symbols of good luck or fortune. But we went with a little Bavarian man in his lederhosen and beer in hand. They also typically have a pipe in their hand or hanging from their mouth, come apart at their waist and have a hole in their mouth, and once they are pulled apart, a little incense is put inside, then lit to cause a small stream of smoke out of his mouth and a scent to fill the room as he looks like he is standing there enjoying a smoke from his pipe. The scents are just as varied as the little Räuchermännchen are and come in assorted scents like cinnamon, roasted almonds, vanilla, and much more. In the US, it is common for people to mark the Christmas season by different Christmas smells, and a lot of people burn different Christmas candles or have Christmas incense for their home, but nothing that we feel like or know of is super traditional like these. These little smoking men are something we had definitely never seen in the US before, but we see in many German homes or being sold as a staple in German Christmas markets. Whether it is putting together an Advents wreath or looking at the handcrafted German Christmas decorations, sometimes we start to feel a little crafty during the Christmas season, and maybe you do too. Because of that, we are happy that Skillshare is the sponsor of today's video. Skillshare is an amazing online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for you lifelong learners, hobbyists, or working creatives. Skillshare offers classes on anything like Christmas card crafting to productivity, marketing, video editing, and so much more.
I have been checking out the class DIY Filmmaking, Creating Pro Video with Tools You Already Own by Mark Sarsosimo to find ways that we can improve our video production without breaking the bank. Skillshare's classes are offered at any skill level, are ad-free, and they are always launching new premium classes. The first 1,000 people to use the link in our description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. Even without this deal, Skillshare is less than $10 per month with an annual subscription.
There is another handcrafted wooden Christmas decoration we find in many German homes and is a classic German Christmas decoration, the Weihnachtspyramide. Christmas pyramids also traditionally come from the Ore Mountains, like the Räuchermann, and are very unique decorations we had never seen in the US or even really an equivalent decoration anywhere. They typically have a wedding cake design with multiple tiers and of course in a pyramidal shape. In the middle will be little figurines on discs and a very iconic propeller on top. Candles line the outside of the pyramid and when lit, cause hot air to rise from the candles through the propellers and starts the interior of the pyramid spinning. We've seen various shapes, figures, colors, candle sizes, and more, but the one we have recently purchased has the 3 wise men and their camels on their way to see baby Jesus. And the nativity scene is on the second tier, followed by shepherds and then angels on high.
These are so integral and iconic to the ambiance of the Christmas season in Germany that we have seen massive, multiple-story tall Christmas pyramids constructed at Christmas markets where they may be selling Glühwein and Bratwurst out of the bottom tier. A lot of those will even have a spinning propeller on top as well. The fact that this decoration seems so special mainly seems to center around the fact that in our technologically driven world nowadays, people still are in awe at the simple technology of this spinning continuously without any electricity required. It feels like a decoration that would be and has been passed down through generations rather than cheap trinkets or decorations bought these days. We literally can sit and watch this thing spin for hours, and partly because you have to be very careful not to take your eye off of it for too long in case it gets stuck and the heat burns the propellers, creating a massive fire hazard.
In the US and in Germany, the Christmas season would not be complete without a Christmas tree for presents to go on and under. Americans can thank the Germans for bringing the Christmas tree to the United States after they developed the Christmas tree tradition in the 1500s and then brought it with them to America in the 19th century. However, there is an interesting difference between the US and Germany in what kind of tree we use. The Washington Post reported that in 2018, only 21% of American homes decorated a real tree, and that is a number that is on the decline. However, a WDR article reported that a good half of German homes decorate real trees, but the number jumps to 80% of those with 3 or more in the household. There also is an interesting difference in that Americans will hide a pickle ornament in their tree, pass it off as an old German Christmas tradition, and whoever finds it gets a special gift. Yet you won't find a single German who claims this game as an originally German tradition. It is thought that Martin Luther was the first to add lighted candles to a Christmas tree, and that is precisely what is on our tree that we had never owned before moving to Germany.
Well, they are technically electric candles and they don't have real flames, but we have found throughout German stores and homes it is very common to find not only Christmas string lights to decorate a Christmas tree, just like we do in the US, but also modern LED candle lights to keep with this tradition in a modern way. We have seen pictures of candles on trees before in old books and photos, but thought that it was a long and dead tradition ever since the advent of electricity. We have never seen these types of electric candle lights to put on a tree in the US, but we see them everywhere in Germany. We even had one of our German friends who is older tell us that she only stopped putting real candles on her tree in 2006. We love the way they seem to add a touch of class and old-time elegance to our Christmas tree in a way that we had never experienced before. We do have one question though for our German audience. Do you still put candles on your tree? Or when was the last time you saw real lit candles on your tree?
If you aren't from the US or haven't been to the US during Christmas, I'm sure you still have seen how we all put lights up on our houses for Christmas in the movies. Some houses get extremely flashy and wild with their lights, but most are more subtle and subdued. It is a fun Christmas tradition in the US to pack some hot chocolate in the car, drive around at night with the family, and listen to Christmas music on the radio as you weave around the city and neighborhoods looking at all of the beautiful homes lit up. In Germany, this isn't very popular, but instead we have seen candles in windows, or you find a lot of homes that have one single glowing star in a window or on the house, and that is a Herrnhuter Sterne, or a Moravian star.
This star gets its name from the town they come from, Herrnhut, and were developed by the people from the Moravian church. They have been a part of the Christmas tradition for over 2 centuries and now can be found all over Germany decorating German homes. They represent the Bethlehem star and are quite unique 25-point stars. They are traditionally made from paper, but nowadays are also made from more durable materials to be hung outside and withstand the elements. As we drive around Germany, we will find a single Herrnhuter star hanging in the windows or at the peaks of many German homes. Now, we don't have a classic Herrnhuter 25-point star, but what seems like an adaptation of these are extremely popular are these stars. If a home doesn't have a 25-point star, they will a lot of times have one of these paper stars that hang or sit on a lampstand in the window or hang outside the home. They often have intricate cut designs in them and are lit up showing the fun colors and design. These also are classic items sold at a Christmas market, or you can pick one up from any IKEA.
There are still a few things we feel like we need to do to complete our German Christmas celebration, like get a real Herrnhuter star or a Schwiebogen for our windows, and we need to watch Drei Haselnüsse for Aschenbrödel and Der kleine Lord. But we've made a pretty good start to Germanizing our Christmas celebrations. If there are any fun German Christmas traditions, decorations, or food we didn't mention in this video, please let us know them in the comments below so we can work them into our Christmas season as well.
Also, if you like this video, please help out our little channel by hitting that like and subscribe button, and maybe share this video on your social media to share some fun Christmas spirit. Thanks so much for watching. Merry Christmas, Frohe Weihnachten, and we will see you in our next video.
Tschüss!
Starting around September or October, Take three. Okay. Look alive. These decorations go?
That's cute.
Thank you. Just wait till you see the New Year's one.
German Christmas decoration, the
The
Weihnachtspyramide.
We literally, oh, I spit a lot.
I heard myself say wild.